Warriors, and welcome to Finnish Death Metal time here at Rauta. This time I'm talking to you about a band called Korpsesoturi, which is a name that really doesn't make any sense, but here it goes, the second album called Korpskrist. Released by Extreme Music already last October, this album has been on the queue for a couple of months now, and finally it has time to take a listen and take a look at this album. 10 tracks, 37 minutes, Finnish death metal, alright. The style is very dark, it's very heavy, and the vocals come from deep, like a deep cavern or demon or something like that. And that is one of the elements on this album which in my opinion really shines through. Here you have a line image of this band, and well, the rest is just dedicated to lyrics which are in Finnish. Now, the main guy of this band is the person called Juha Aalfors, and the rest are more or less, well, I wouldn't call them session members because at least there's one other key member, but Juha seems to be the main guy of the band presented here and all that. Now here in Metal Archive side you will see Korpsesoturi's rather short discography, one self-titled EP from 2017 and then a couple of albums. Now I haven't heard the previous album called Malus Corpus, but I've heard and reviewed back in the days this debut EP, also reviewed in 2018 for Rauta, and that wasn't too good, to be honest. It was quite of a mediocre attempt to do Finnish death metal. However, this time it's a lot better with Korpskrist because basically every element on this album is so much better. Now let's start with the songwriting. It's very old school, it's very traditional, and the riffs and kind of a mid-tempo are something that kind of take you back to the early 90s. I mean, this would be called in a parallel dimension as retro death metal. It's up to you if you want to call it just old school death metal or retro or whatever. I don't really care. I'm just pointing out it's kind of old fashioned and in my opinion in a good way. Now the sound is much more modern and not only in a good sense but mainly a positive thing. Now the drums, well, it says there are a couple of session drummers, but what in essence it sounds like, at some points anyway, it's much like there is a drum machine used. It's that sterile, to be honest. Sounds like electronic drums at some points. Not that they bother, but can't really say they're really good. Now the guitar sound overall is pretty good. It's very dark and heavy, but it could be, I guess, a little bit more dynamic. It doesn't, once again, bother, but I'm just saying it's good, but not brilliant or superior. Now the vocals then again are definitely one of the best elements on this album, and I think they're kicking ass like 90% of death metal vocals because they're really growly, deep growly type of vocals which come like beneath the earth soil itself, like coming from this beast living in a cavern, creating this massive sound, very strong, very brutal growly vocals. I really like them. I think they're top notch and definitely one of the dominating factors on this album. And back to the songwriting. Well, this old school death metal is surprisingly very kind of a basic stuff in a good sense. That is, you really don't find much memorable moments here. It's not like this is filled with kind of a killer guitar leads or solos that are superior, but more like the kind of a basic good stuff. Is it mind-blowing? Definitely not. Is it mind-numbing in a bad sense? Definitely not. It's a good release with just something that could be a lot better if it was more versatility, more something to clinch to, you know, kind of a memorable parts. Overall, it's a good death metal album, and I think you should give it a chance if you are into old school, traditional death metal in the first place. Give it a chance, but others, well, not so much. Thank you for watching. Should you have questions or comments, put them on the box below and I'll get back to you. Bye bye.